Oh man, are you as emotional as I am? To see your people out there celebrate it?
Whose house is this? Whose house is this? Yeah, go ahead and kick me out. It'll be on every news organization in the country. I'm done with this shit. You do not have quorum. You are not allowed to do this.
It's getting to me. Boss.
You had the choice between the Constitution and the criminal. And this country chose the criminal. And now they're all appalled at what's happening.
Fuck ICE! 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 Fuck ICE!
Chanting fuck ICE. Shout out to the fans for coming together and making such a powerful, strong moment and sending a loud message. Abolish ICE.
I went to therapy. I got treatment.
Seven years I've been doing this, telling y'all that all this virtue signaling and everything is at an all-time high. It has gotten so bad at this point where you have these people that they feel so comfortable turning on the camera, sitting in their chairs, in their gamer chairs, their fake gamer chairs, in 4K, and condoning violence. And not only condoning violence, because they've been doing that for quite some time, but now, as we know of last year, condoning murder. And I'm not talking about the murder in terms of, like, you know, going outside of your home and attacking and antagonizing people minding their own business, trying to do their jobs, let alone fellow agents who are trained with M9s and M4s. Because I don't see y'all pulling up on O Block. I don't see y'all turning on y'all cameras saying, we got to go to O Block in Chicago because they're killing other black people. No. You're not doing all that. You rather go and attack federal agents because celebrities told you to. The people sitting in their mansions are virtue signaling and trying to tell you, oh, we need to go out there and fight. You don't even know what you're fighting for. But yeah, you want to sit in your fake gamer chairs and say that you're on the right side of history. Anybody that ever says that out loud, don't believe them. There's a lot of things that these people say, and they show their hand a lot. You can go to this bitch's profile right now, and you will see all the virtue signaling words, all the trigger words, everything's there. She has zero personality. But AEW is in the news once again. And every single time we say AEW is on people's radars, especially in the wrestling headlines, every time that happens, guess what? It's never anything positive. So people really came out the woodwork on this one to not only virtue signal, but to plant their AEW flags down as if it's some kind of achievement to be proud of. Oh yes, MJF and Brody King. I'm forgetting his name already because he's a fucking nobody. MJF and Brody King came out there and we had the fuck ICE chants right before the match. So wait. First of all, because this is kind of deep. So first of all, that's something to be proud of. To be chanting right before your match. And a match that they were advertising to be one of the biggest matches that they've had on AEW in such this long time, because Brody King deserved this big spotlight. Brody King deserved this this position to be number one contender for the AEW World Title. Okay, cool. Question to everybody that decided to go to Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else, YouTube, and virtue signal right after this happened. I would love to ask them the question, who won this match? Does anybody know? Does anybody remember? Does anybody even remember what happened in this match? Because as far as I remember, it was a 3-minute match. And MJF, you're AEW World Champion, the guy that's supposed to be the end-all, be-all when it comes to AEW. Your ace, your number one guy in the company, lost in 3 minutes to Brody fucking King. The guy that came out there with a mask on and a shirt that says fuck ICE. Or abolish ICE, I'm sorry. Can't put fuck, because whatever. But so, not only does all this shit happen, not only are people not talking about the match, not even talking about the wrestlers in the match, because I'm seeing a lot of things on social media as well where people are saying that, oh, this is going to put Brody King in a bigger spotlight because he's standing up against ICE, blah, blah, blah. No. This is his 15 seconds of fame. And it's quite sad that this is his 15 seconds of fame because he's in a rock band. He's been in a prominent rock band for quite some time, for quite a few years at this point. He's in AEW and has been in AEW for quite some time at this point. And this is what you're going to be known for. This is your biggest spotlight of your entire career. This is what you're going to be most famous for. I guarantee you mention this guy's name a year from now, no one's going to remember who he is. No one's even going to know who he is. If you really think that this is going to bring more people to AEW, I'm sorry. But you are a fool. And you deserve to be laughed at. This is not something that a wrestling company wants to be known for. But AEW apparently was happy with all the attention that it got over the past week. As we already know, Tony Khan, the same guy who threatened to fire Jake Hager from AEW because he was a Trump supporter. In the very same breath, Tony Khan praises this kind of action. This makes zero sense to me, man. Whenever we have said, keep politics out of wrestling, we mean it. And it's not like, oh, let's keep every single thing when it comes to politics. Like, I get it. But if there's one thing Vince McMahon did good, was when he did put politicians or made politicians wrestling, he made like a sort of a parody of it. I mean, you can't really say Donald Trump because this was way before Trump was even into politics. He was still the Apprentice guy. People still loved Trump. But I don't know if you guys remember the Crime Time skit, the Crime Time segment with George Bush. It wasn't really George Bush, obviously, but you know. And that was funny, and it was a very memorable segment. And I feel like people enjoyed it. I mean, I was a little too young to know what the actual ratings and all that other shit was, but from what I remember, people loved it. It was fun. And I just saw it again, maybe like about a couple months ago. I saw that segment again just flying around on social media. And I'm like, man, I'm glad that this is flying around and not, something that wasn't funny. Not something that wasn't really that memorable and people want to go back. Because we see it a lot of times on social media where people want to go back and say, oh, the Attitude Era was such a horrible time. Look at this one scene right here. Or look at this one segment, whatever. I'm glad that people are looking at that segment and saying, oh, man, that's actually pretty funny. And that's why I don't say, we can't say keep politics completely out of wrestling, but holy fuck, man, when it comes to agenda pushing and virtue signaling, get that shit out, man. We don't need our wrestlers walking out here saying fuck ICE. We don't need them coming out here even saying I stand with ICE. See, that's where y'all got me fucked up. Y'all think that because I'm saying, hey, man, y'all need to chill on this side, that I'm not going to tell this side over here to chill? No, both. But I do think in this one instance, and I'm still not saying that, oh, we should have somebody walk out there with an I Stand with ICE shirt. But I wonder what the reaction will be if you had somebody walk out there with an I Stand with ICE shirt rather than an Abolish ICE shirt. You have people sitting in front of the camera, wrestling, quote unquote, content creators that are sitting in front of the camera saying that, oh, this is fact. Oh, yeah, ICE is bad. Fuck ICE, blah, blah. When you don't even know the facts. You have people out here condoning for violence when they don't even know the facts. You have people out here that are saying to go out there and antagonize these people. And as you guys know, I've been saying for quite some time, mind your business, stay inside, drink some hot chocolate. It'll pass. It'll pass over. But nope. Here we go, man. This Veda Scott chick wanted to bring this into wrestling. Now, all we want to do is watch a good wrestling match. Can we do that? Can we not watch a good wrestling match and not have any of this? That's all I asked for. So then you have the referee, Bryce Rensburg. And this guy, he said that he waited all this time before the match. He said he could have started the match, he could have rung the bell, but he said, you know what, I'm going to let them chant even longer. So he says a lot of attention and new followers today. Want to keep the kind vibes going and pay it forward. We'll donate all proceeds from cameos until February 13th to Lancaster Neighbor Fund, who supports immigrants right in my city of welcome. Kindness onward. Look, not mad at you for that, you know, whatever. But I mean, for him to come out and say, and I think it might even be down here, where he says that he waited all this time, that he waited until here we go. Says it seems like the referee may have waited to ring the bell so these could resonate longer. Oh no, whoops.
Are you retarded?
What kind of world do we live in, bro? Like, we live in a movie, bro. We literally live in a movie around like just nothing but NPCs. Like there's no way this dude is serious. So, I have a question for you guys. We're going to do all of this. We're going to let the chants go. We want all this attention, and it's going to come back and bite him in the ass, as it usually does. And that's why I asked the question earlier, like, when's the last time AEW got any positive news when they were on, like, a worldwide or even national scale, or any kind of headlines? It's always been something negative, or them just being absolute fucking retards like this. So the same company that allows all that and does that and wants to, they love the headlines that they're getting right now. They love the attention that they're getting right now. It's the same company that hired porn stars to be at ringside and be a part of a mid-match of a segment with Andrade. And then one of them could, because again, AEW and PR, what is that, right? What's PR in AEW? Or what's PR to AEW? One of the porn stars that they hired to be at ringside for the Andrade segment put this on Instagram. Like, are we kidding right now? LMAO, this is so fake. So you couldn't even tell your talents, the people you hired, the people you paid to be at ringside on a national televised show, hey, may not want to tweet out, or I guess put out in a story on Instagram, that wrestling is fake. You might not want to do that, seeming that your face is going to be plastered all over our television screen, all over our company on Wednesday night. And what did this bitch do? This is that same company. This is the same company that got quote unquote content creators and what's the guy, the big Italian dad and his fat son that do the boom stuff, actually wrestle on their show. On a pay-per-view, taking up space, taking up a spot that an actual wrestler, and AEW has 1 million wrestlers under contract right now, taking up space to where an actual wrestler could have been on and got some spotlight, gotten some character development. But no, we'd rather chase how do I say this? We would rather chase what's new. We'd rather chase what's popular. We'd rather chase what the fad is. What's the fad? Chevelle. If anybody knows the band Chevelle. Shout out. But this is why we have the problems that we have in professional wrestling. You have people complaining about WWE and the whole Cody Rhodes saying Raheem, referring to himself as Raheem the other night. But y'all didn't even stop to think, like, we have bigger problems in professional wrestling than Cody Rhodes standing in the ring referring to himself to a nickname that literally wrestling fans gave him. You idiots. Y'all the same idiots that are sitting there complaining about him saying it. It makes zero sense. And then you want to know why I think, and I would say, me personally, I would say, I know that these people are faking, and I know that these people are bad actors, and not only bad actors, but bad faith actors. Because the same chick that was tweeting all this stuff last week, her and Denise Salsa, whatever her name is, they're tweeting out the same stuff about the halftime show. If you have a problem with and this is why, because this is why I always say that these people show their hands, is because they all use the same kind of verbiage. Right side of history. If you don't like this, you're a Nazi. If you don't like this, if you don't like that, then you're this. If you don't do this, then you're that. If you don't support this, then you're that. But when have you ever heard Korn or anybody that's even remotely common sense minded ever come out and say it's either this or that? If you don't like this, then you're that. If you don't support this, then you're that. If you don't boycott this, what I always say, I don't do that. I don't boycott. If you don't boycott this, then you're this. If you don't follow what I follow, then you're that. Always, always, always listen to the verbiage. Yes, their demeanor, whatever, but especially when it comes to chicks, their demeanor changes every 5 minutes. So one moment they're very calm, the next moment once they're exposed and they want to get all frantic and yell and scream and say you're this and say you're that. If you don't like this and you're that, oh, then you're just this. And they love putting labels on stuff. Not just women, but mainly women. If you have a problem with the way, if you have a problem with the performance that ended with the only thing, and she puts it in all caps, of course. Of course. This is so performative, it's comical. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. Well, you're a bad person. If you don't fight against ICE, you're a Nazi. It's all the same. It's all the same. So then you get to Denise. The same chick that was talking about AEW last week and that whole situation. I'm sure you guys have seen her clip as well. Reciting the whole thing. Like it. I try not to overreact and say like, oh man, like this is like all these people are nuts. They're all fucking crazy. They're all, but it's like they continue to show us that they are. I mean, they just continue to show us that they're crazy. So I'm not even gonna read all this that Denise is saying, but as you guys can see, it's like, who does this? Yeah, fucking beautiful, yeah. Like, see me, I watched the other halftime show last night, and I thought it was good. Now, I have my nitpicks about it, but it was overall, it was a pretty big success for what it was. And it was quite enjoyable for what it was and for the short amount of time that it was. I mean, it was a halftime show. But, yeah, I definitely didn't watch the actual Super Bowl one because that was, I already knew what that was going to have in it. And I already knew what that was about. And, of course, I knew we were going to be getting the tweets from said wrestling content creators, such as Denise Salsa and the Veda chick that looks like Madison Wild, by the way. I knew we were going to get these kind of tweets and these kind of reactions from these kind of content creators. So, look, man, I mean, this is so performative. Again, bad faith actors. This is what they live for, man. They pay for these blue check marks. They put this kind of stuff out. They put out these clips and these videos so they can get all this traction, so they can get the media passes to WWE and AEW. Thank God, by the way, WWE has stopped doing that. The post pay-per-view conference media things. Oh my gosh, man, those. Don't even get me started with that. I mean, once you started getting questions about Waffle House orders, I was like, bro, nuke these people's freaking media passes, bro. But I mean, look. I've been going back and forth with people online as well, especially on Instagram and these different comments, Twitter as well, even YouTube. Like, these people, I don't know whether it's tunnel vision. I don't know whether they're just SSRI, baby. I have no fucking idea, bro. But this right here is just like, I feel like I never should feel like I'm the smartest guy in the room, and I feel like I'm the smartest guy in the room. It's gotten to that point. It really has, man. And again, like I always say, like, it's not necessarily scary for me personally, but it's a scary time we live in right now because you have people literally like wanting to jump at the most minute problem of all time. Like it's crazy to me. I don't know, man. But look, like I said, like there's a clear difference between WWE fans and AEW fans, as we now know. Like, at first it was like, oh yeah, you have people to watch both, blah, 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 whatever. But like, when you start seeing people come out and say that they were actually watching AEW since day one watching AEW, and that they're done. Like this guy right here, Bugle Daily, says, Tony Khan, I am a lifelong wrestling fan, and I have watched AEW since day one. I always wanted AEW to succeed, but I will no longer support AEW. You should learn a lesson that Hollywood refuses to learn. Let me say that again, because I don't think that this stands out enough as much as it should. You should learn a lesson that Hollywood refuses to learn. We don't want politics in our escapism. So of course he's getting killed in the comments per usual, because of course we know it's the bots and the trannies and all these other people in there. Just like, they have no idea, they have no leg to stand on, they have no facts to stand on, and that's why they keep regurgitating the same terms and the same words and trigger words, and then they start screaming and yelling and then saying that they're gonna condone violence or commit it. So let them eat themselves. But at the end of the day, you have to be mindful that these celebrities out here are doing the exact same thing. That's why us little people feel like that, or not us, all of us, but you guys know what I mean. The ones that are out here actually doing the shit, acting like lunatics out here in the street. It's gonna make them feel like they're martyrs. It's gonna make them feel like they're standing up for something right. We're on the right side of history. Always listen to the words. The verbiage is going to let you know everything. Once they start saying right side of history, all this other stuff, you should already know. It should be second nature at this point. But of course I had to tweet this out, man. After AEW was very happy with the immediate attention from the fuck ice chants on AEW Dynamite this week. And of course it came from none other than Fraudful Select. So of course they're going to tweet this out, but they don't know anything. They never knew what Triple H's next move was last year at all. You didn't hear anything from Fraudful last year when it came to this surprise or that surprise or what's going to happen tonight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They knew nothing, absolutely nothing. Triple H made them look like fools for over the past year and a half. And this is all they can do is tweet shit like this out. That's what it's gotten to with Fraudful now, with old Sean Ross Fapp. Anyway. Then you had The Rock's daughter, who didn't re-sign her contract. Thank God she didn't. I highly doubt that she got offered more or double, whatever Fraudful tried to say she got offered. I highly doubt that happened. She got signed to WWE in 2020. And has never met expectations. She was awful in the ring, awful on a mic, can't act, and then decided to mutilate her face as well with all those damn piercings and shit like that. Like, fam. And then as soon as she gets fired, she puts out this tweet regurgitating the same thing that we saw last week with the chants in AEW. And then guess what she does? Literally 5 minutes later, deactivates her account. Oh man, I'm telling you, man, like it's oh so tiring dealing with these kind of people when it comes to professional wrestling. That's why I always say, like, it may seem cliche or sound cliche, but fam, we have to keep wrestling. Keep professional wrestling. NWA bent the knee. AEW was born on bending the knee. WWE, look, they've got their isms, they've got their qualms. Oh, trust me. but not as close to AEW or any of these other companies, especially when it comes to the indies. We've already, and I've been saying for over 10 years now, way before I was even on YouTube, I've been telling people about how bad the indies is when it comes to the knee bending and it comes to all this weird stuff that they do in the ring now that has nothing to do with wrestling. That's why I say keep professional wrestling, not just WWE, not just AEW, not just TNA, not just NWA, all of it. Ring of Honor, New Japan, all of it. Keep wrestling. You want to make a statement, you do what CM Punk does in WWE now, which he, even though I don't agree with none of his fucking statements, but guess what? And none of his stances. But guess what? At least he does it outside of the ring. He does it outside of WWE podcasts and stuff like that. Now, he'll go on Rosenberg or he'll go on Air Hawani or wherever the fuck and start doing his virtual signaling, and I'll still talk about it. Absolutely. And I'll still say, like, yo, fam, WWE, you got a decision to make, fam. Because not everybody can do what he's doing right now. And not everybody can say what he's saying right now, which is a huge problem in America. But that's a whole different, it's not a whole different conversation, but that's a whole rabbit hole that maybe I'll have to go down on a live stream or something like that, maybe. But there's a clear difference between WWE and AEW at this point. And WWE and everyone else at this point. Because they don't really have to answer anybody. They don't really have to stoop this low to try and garner fan attention. You don't need those chants before a match in order for WWE to garner attention, in order for WWE to sell tickets, in order for WWE to make the headlines. Because believe it or not, positive or negative, WWE's in the headlines 90% of the time throughout the year. AEW's first time they're in the headlines, and this is what we got. So you have Brody King with a Abolish shirt, walking down the ring and wearing a mask with an all-seeing eye. Yeah, WWE and AEW are not the same. They don't have to stoop this low. No wrestler in WWE, other than maybe, your virtue signaling female in the women's division every once in a while, has to really stoop this low. But for the most part, nobody has to stoop this low. As low as what Brody King has to do every single time he steps in front of a camera. He has to do shit like this and say shit like this. I've made numerous videos about Brody King in the past and him virtue signaling and not just condoning, but literally advocating for violence against people he disagrees with. I'm telling y'all, man, y'all are playing a very dangerous game, but whatever. Anyways, man, like I said, WWE ain't have to stoop this low. They will never have to stoop this low. It's very sad to see that pro wrestling has come to this. And, well, like I said, unfortunately, the culture war has gotten to professional wrestling, and it's been like that for a while. But now it's getting even worse. I don't know, man. Well, hit me up, hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy Corn, and I am disappointed.